Car Radio. This is Nkosy SA. Welcome to my show. This is the day. It's the podcast. Starting with this time of God. I'm just gonna just look at Okay, sorry about that. I'm going to be talking about a transgender issue during the reporter BBC News reporter with sports, which there's something this should be done with the transgender in sports as well. I'm going to be talking about Tokyo. Not Tokyo actually. I'm going to be talking about Chinese Beijing 2022 Winter Games as a big corner, and then also going to rugby news. Some of the 4 players were suspended in the game because of issues our corners were saying what discuss. Then we have Lewis Hamilton hitting the 100th win with F1 race, breaking another record, making history again. who is driving for Mercedes. And also, I'm going to be talking about the player who wasn't able to go into the match because of the documents. I'm going to discuss as the time goes on. And then we also had UCL Champions League. It's UEFA Champions League kade khona tidlala, and also MTN 8 kade tidlala this week. And I'm going to be giving you my results. Ukuthi bekwenzakala nini. Also, we have Messi's Davies goal ekade eshayile, the goal against Manchester City. I'm going to be coming up here during the show ngoba siqhubeka. For right now, let me start with this news zanamhlanje ukuthi what is happening. Okay, I'm gonna start with the reporter from BBC News from the reporter Laura Scott Reportile. Let me just read uthi transgender inclusion in sport could be improved by adding open and universal categories to male and female ones. New guidance says lapha Laura uraiser ipoint elithanda ukuthi libaluleke and sensitive to other people ukuthi sports transgender people should be included nabo like bedlale nabo because there is this difference between them that separates them from males and females. Like for instance, in 2020 Japan, there was Laura Hubbard, of which ubedlala transgender ubedlalela for abantu besifazane, of which kade ngene competition 87 kg plus weight udlalele for women's side, not men's side, or transgender, because there is no transgender Olympic Games. They once offered in 2015, but Olympic Games accumulate the team committee sports and the esports Scotland, the sports Northern Ireland, the sports Wales, but they are watching this 18 months content and reviewing of the research. There are differences between the females and the transgender females, and also the difference between male transgender and males as well. They should consider looking at that. This is sports. We want to include each and every person wants to compete. Like I was talking about Paralympic Games, who are paralyzed that also play the sports. There's also transgender individuals now, but for now to be included so that they can play other people as well on different competitions. Asimike lapho, and then I continue. Let me go to a rugby story. Beijing. Okay, let me go to a rugby story. Okay, there were 6 players who were suspended in the game for taking a trip illegal in the game. Lamo players I'm just telling you the story about the 6 players Arab and also fixed it because I was having a difficulty of finding the story. But let me continue. Beijing 2020 Winter Games. As bedlala already, they are saying 2022 Beijing a non-vaccinated athlete was served 21-day quarantine as well. As I was talking this past shows also coronavirus affects sports as well in all ways, and you have to keep the protocols according to your country, according to the sports code. If they give you the instruction, you should do as they say. And they're saying here on Beijing 2022 already people are arriving, the competitors are arriving. So those one who are not fully vaccinated or not vaccinated at all, they are taking a 21-day quarantine, so that they're going to be checked. And bona ke bazoba restricted kodwa because ngebe allow ukuthi be endaweni ezithile as well, futhi ke bazobe be checkwa each and every day. But those vaccinated ones, they're going to continue ukuthi ke beqhubeke bekwazi ukudlala ama games bona without being benze njengalabo ukuthi bazovimba another training facilities, changing venues, normally as it happens. Also, this competition will allow only 10,000 fans from inside the country, which is final, and outsiders. I was with the competition only the inside, just like Tokyo Japan competition. Siyadlula lapho, let's go to soccer. Bear with me if I'm going fast. It's because of the time. I just want to go to the main stories. Ngifuna nje ukuxoxa zonke indaba zesports so that you won't miss each individual, because there are ones that you need to hear. Okay, we have issue like Kelechi Iheanacho, the footballer who has been ruled out for the Leicester City Europa League Group C trial, a trip to Liaga was because of an issue with the travel documents. There are also who has travel issues, documents issues, because Biasawas would say I was doing on the match and compete for the game. This is a concern for the people who are not residents, not situated in England, because he plays in English Premier League. So if he goes out, he's going to have a problem, because as well from his country. He also has documents from his country. So this is so much for the club, because firstly it's struggling and they needed goals. Vardy, second choice was Iheanacho, and now he has problems. He's not going to play in the game, and that is going to make things not easy for the team. And coach about his documents coming into the country wasn't sufficient, said the boss Bertrand Rogers from Ama Foxes. And then let me go to the main story that you've been waiting for. I'm gonna read his stats. I'm gonna read his story. What happened? How did he do it? I'm talking none other than F1 race number one, Lewis Hamilton, who was hitting the 100 win in F1 race, making a record in F1 race, and he's the first one to hit 100 or century wins in F1 race. Maybe to understand that, well, I have stats with me. Yeah? Okay. Before I discuss the stats, we say how this guy is doing these things. Hamilton in the last race, as we discussed, that he became number one while he was following Lando Norris, who himself was number one and became number 7 on the last 4 laps of the race, of which it was sloppy because he didn't change the tires because it was raining. Just like I explained before, if there is a rain, you change tires. There are tires for the car not to skid, because he was using meat. And Alex Lewis, by the way, rather, after the competition, he talked that he ignored that his team at first must change his tires, but second call when they say he must change his tires, he came back and changed it. But it was a false call, and he was frustrated that they want him to change tires, but it's paid off because he made his 100th appearance as number one. Let me read the stats so that you can understand this guy. This guy has been racing from 2007. This is how things were, and one by one, and so how this guy is able to do. In 2007, he did 16 races and won only 4. And then on 2018, he won only 5 and competed only 18 competitions in the year. Wow, the stats are numbered. But this year alone, importantly, I want to say this year alone, 2021, only won 4 times, and as well completed only 14 races. This guy, out of these 100 wins, 21 are from McLaren. He was driving for McLaren and then recently driving for Mercedes. For McLaren, only did 21 wins. Sweet, this guy is doing wonders in F1. I wonder how young was he at that time taking those wins back to back. Mercedes 79. This was 79 time for Mercedes, 100 time for himself. He was doing a century. Moving on, and I'm going to the top three for the F1 wins so that you can see how this guy is topping up his charts. Starting from number 3, we have Sebastian Vettel, who's not the new name in the show. You know him, you know his stats, how does he race, he's competitive in the race, but we haven't seen him this year that's much, but he was doing well. Sebastian with 52 wins in F1 race himself alone. And then we have, other than the champion that you knew, actually the first person I knew in F1 was Michael Schumacher. I knew him taking races back to back. He has 91 races all together all by himself, and that is the number 2. Then number 1 is Lewis Hamilton with the hundreds of records. I may say this guy's been doing wonders. I applaud him as well. His stats are too much. Like let me say 7 world championship, 101 pole position, 176 podium finishes, 4,023 and 24.5 career points. This guy has already made 4,024 points in his career, as well as 79 most wins with same team. That is Mercedes. 8 wins at British Grand Prix, 21 wins different Grand Prix, and 168 most front row starts. This guy has already started 168 times in front. Before, let me explain how do you go in the front of it, because some others will say it's unfair for other racers to be placed at the back. The best are placed in the front, and those ones who are lacking are behind the back. This is how F1 race goes. Before the race, there are qualifiers for the sport. So you need to qualify for the sport. That's why you find sometimes Lewis Hamilton is fifth sports, first sports. You are calculated how fast you are on the lap so that you qualify for the sports. I've seen it on Saturday before the race, and I was like, wow, this is fair to other people. Because I thought maybe they place according to how did you do on the last race, but it doesn't go like that. Let me continue. Now I enter into the UCL or UEFA Champions League. How do things go in UEFA Champions League? I have surprises for many people. UEFA Champions League was taking place their match day 2 starting from Tuesday. These are the games, how they stand. We have Shakhtar Donetsk drawing against Inter Milan 0-0 and Ajax winning 2-0 against the Besiktas La Panage on Tuesday. As well, Real Madrid was beaten by Sheriff 2-1. So disappointing. The big club again is beaten this week. I don't know. AC Milan, another loss, 2-1 against Atletico Madrid. Well done to Atletico Madrid, who was playing away game and they won away game 2-1. Dortmund won 1-0 against Sporting, securing the spot. Then you have a PSG match which was making waves. This match was making waves in internet. People say this match is so important. The whole world was watching because the unbeaten guys, PSG and Man City, were playing in this game, and we wanted to see Messi against his former coach Pep Guardiola, and it was competitive. The match was so much. I'm going to talk about it after the results. We have Porto beaten by Liverpool, striking 5-1. And I'm going to talk about Liverpool as well after the scores. How is Liverpool doing so far? We have Club Brugge. Club Brugge is doing very well in UEFA Champions League. They won 2-1 against RB Leipzig. So very, very good. We have Atalanta against the Young Boys. Atalanta, they're winning 1-0, taking 3 points. Then we have Zenit against Malmo, of which Zenit was won by 4-0. And then we have Wolfsburg drawing against Sevilla 1-1. Then we have Bayern Munich beating Dynamo Kiev 5-0. And Apana Lewandowski scored his brace. Bayern Munich is too much. Bayern Munich is too much. Okay, then we have RB Salzburg winning 2-1 against the Lille. Now let me discuss this before I continue. Red Bull has two teams in one competition: RB Leipzig and RB Salzburg. These guys are competitive. Looking them together in one cup, UEFA Champions League, one of the biggest competition in Europe. It's so amazing this company, what they have done. I like what they did. Congratulations to RB Salzburg winning that game. Then we have Juventus 1-0 beating Chelsea home. These guys were home. The Turins, they beat Chelsea 1-0, of which I'm going to talk about it after the scores. Then we have Barcelona playing against Benfica. Another game, Barcelona beating 3-0. So disappointing. I think maybe those news, those rumors that you heard about Koeman will be sacked, I think they will be coming to reality right now, because looking at the past 3 matches that you've played, it didn't do good. It doesn't look good for Barcelona. Barcelona knows it's a big club and it's a big signing club. It's well respected. After Messi's departure, disappointing results. I won't talk much about it. Then we have Manchester United against Villarreal. The big game, because these guys, I like what was happening here. These guys are doing the finals of the UEFA Europa League this past cup, the competition, and Villarreal was playing against Manchester, and Villarreal won in penalties, beating Manchester United. And this time, I remember I was talking with my sister. I told her that Manchester were gonna beat Villarreal. It's the game. It's a repeat game, and they have to prove themselves. And then I told her that Ronaldo is gonna score, and as well Ronaldo did score. And let me just go back and just recap on these matches. I'm just gonna start with the important match. I'm just gonna go over the important matches. Real Madrid beaten 2-1 by Sheriff. I don't see why Real Madrid was beaten home and Santiago Bernabeu. Coach, these guys had ball position was so high. Let me just read the stats here. Ball position, 76 of 24 against the Sheriff, and the shots. Real Madrid alone did 81 shots and 11 shots on target, and Sheriff's only 4 shots and 3 shots on target. 2 of them they went to the net. So disappointing. But they're sitting on the second spot on their group. It's Group D on their standings. I'm just gonna pass AC Milan. They were looking very good as the season started, but it seems 0 points. Of which Liverpool is leading. Of which again, I'm still analyzing them, how they are playing. I'm gonna tell you as the days goes by, we'll see what is happening with them. We have Dortmund winning 1-0. PSG. This game was watched around the world, and fans were excited. Finally hit his debut goal for the club, PSG. We know him signing. He recently signed for PSG from Barcelona. That's make the huge stories as well. And then this was his 4th game, and then he hit his debut goal. The excitement from the fans. I could have played the audio here. How fans were excited. They were so excited. Everyone was so excited. Even myself was so excited, because Messi is one of the legends, one of the respected legends in football history. And scoring that goal from the new club was so exciting and so pleasant to watch. I loved what was happening. And to those people who spread wrong rumors, I want to tell you this. Who gave Messi the goal was other than killing Mbappe, 1-2 touch and making to the goal. This trio is starting to rise right now. Already, Mbappe passed for Messi and Messi scored the goal. I like what happened in the game. I'm not gonna read the stats because Man City could have drawn this match or won this match because so um Sterling's header hit the bar, and also Bernardo didn't score when he was facing only the net, but after the rebound, but he wasn't able to score, and that's costed Manchester City the lost 2-0 against the Parc des Princes. And then we have a Liverpool game 5-1. The trio, I like to say this, the trio is back. Liverpool trio is back, of which is Firmino, Mane, and Salah. Mane and Salah. Okay. This is how things went. Mane hit the single goal 45th minute. Mohamed Salah scored the brace, and Firmino scored the brace. These guys are so amazing. I like to see them coming back with the bang because we see them shadowed. They were shadowed last year, and until this season opened, they are unbeaten. Stake is still continuing. I like what I see for Liverpool. What has happened to Liverpool? We're going to discuss next week and analyze it. Well, how did it happen? Because these guys haven't made a big signing this year, but they've changed the game. I think maybe coming back off Van Dijk did the change there at the back, and it gave the guys the confidence to come forward because these guys are so good. These guys, they want to take back the Champions League. I don't know what is going to happen. And let us continue. Then Bayern Munich 5-0. You know these guys, they are unbeaten. And this scoring many of goals in every match. These guys are going to make history this year. I don't know how many goals they've scored already, but I want to calculate them, and then I'm going to report to you next time because these guys are winning 6, 7s, 8s, 5s, 4, 3s. This game alone, 5-0. It's either Champions League or a league or a cup. These guys, it's just, you are a big team or a small club, they beat you with many goals. These guys are proven to be so good. And Lewandowski was able to score a brace there as well. So let me continue. Then we have frustrated Thomas Tuchel, first time beaten twice in a row. This coach has proven to be the coach that is hard to go against. Looking at the match alone, the people who are watching the match are gonna tell you that Chelsea was playing against the Turins, but the score is surprising everyone that Turin were able to score the goal, the only goal in the game. Chelsea was able to complete 771 passes and 90% accuracy, 16 shots and 1 shot on target, possession 74-26. Wow, this game was looking so good for the Chelsea, was holding it, but after Tuchel's press conference was talking, he was saying at the training these guys were good, but in the game they weren't doing as what they were doing. He was so frustrated at the Chelsea's defeats in this match. They should have won the game. They have many chances. They were holding the game, but they weren't able to attack that much. I think they are so comfortable at defending, but now they're not scoring any goals. Just like I discussed before 3 weeks or 2 weeks ago, this Chelsea is so strong that it's hard to score against. But even for them, it's so hard to score goals or to score many goals. So they are not used to score many goals. So that's why maybe they are beaten because Juventus only got this chance and they used the only chance and they won the game. It's costed the Chelsea, but let's hope these guys are gonna come back and fight for their spots. On the 19th of October, the Champions League is continuing, and as well, Let's come back here in South Africa. We had MTN 8 games. I'm just gonna come in the competition. Okay, this is how things went. Okay, starting from Tuesday, we had Sundown playing against Golden Arrows. Sundowns, the champions, you know them. They won 3-0, beating Golden Arrows, the KZN club. They Sundowns did big damage and left the club 3-0. And then we have another big score. Morocco Swallows, Itswai was beaten by Cape Town City by extreme 4-0. Yesterday, bekudlala leyo game Cape Town City Morocco Swallows, of which it was 4-0. And that was so surprising for most of us who watch South African soccer, MTN 8 and the league. These guys, I was hoping Morocco Swallows would win the game. Not saying that Cape Town City, I look down upon Cape Town City, but they're showing to be the strong side in the competition, on all competition here, but they didn't do as it go. We have a surprise scoring the place. That was so beautiful. Then we have a finals at the 30th of October. We have Sundowns against Cape Town City. We can't wait to what is going to be happening as well. As I'm wrapping up the show before the hour of 3, let me wrap up the show. What I talked about the UEFA Champions League, as I was mentioning. First on the show, I talked about the transgender thing because it was frustrating for these people. They also want to be recognized in sports, and also I talked about the Beijing Winter Games are coming. I'm going to tell you when they are going to start, but already there are participants who already arrived in Beijing as we are talking. Also discussed about national situation, who had problem of documents after the game they're gonna play as on Group C on its Europa game. And also we had Lewis Hamilton. I talked about Lewis Hamilton winning. Hamilton did well, and he's the only one who did the century in F1 wins of race. And then we had and then I had news. I have results for UEFA Champions League, also MTN 8, and how things went. What is my view on the past competition of UEFA Champions League? I need to discuss what I've seen here. UEFA Champions League. Maybe let me just view the standings so that you can understand what I'm talking about. UEFA Champions League. It seems like the big clubs are not yet there where we wanted them to be. They are not consistent, even though in league they are unbeaten, but they are not consistent. Let me talk about Group A. Taking you to Group A, number 1 we have PSG, number 2 Club Brugge, number 3 Manchester City, number 4 RB Leipzig. And by the way, Man City has 3 points there at the back. So that's well, as I'm talking, Man City sitting at their spots. That's so disappointing. It's a big club, unbeaten more than 5 times, but already they are sitting on the dead spots on UEFA Champions League. That's what I was talking about. That the big clubs are doing well in the league, but they're not consistent on UEFA Champions League. Here in Group B, everything is standing very well. And then again, AC Milan is standing at the 4th spot, 0 points. No points, no goals, nothing is going on in AC Milan. So AC Milan is not doing very well in UEFA Champions League as well. But when you take a look at the league, how they are standing, they are doing very good on the league. And now on Group C, we have Dortmund and Ajax sitting at the top spots, very good. Now we have a disappointing group, Group D. Number 1, Sheriff. Number 2, Real Madrid. And number 3, Inter Milan. Again, Inter Milan and Real Madrid are taking second in dead spots. Off they are beaten by other than Sheriff. These guys are the debut club in the UEFA Champions League. It's their first time entering the UEFA Champions League, but they're already showing that they are so good that they only won 2 games that they played, and they have six points with 2 straight wins. This team is showing to be threatening. Inter Milan should watch out, and Real Madrid should watch out, because they might go off of UEFA Champions League. Real Madrid is sitting in the top. Inter Milan is one of the top 5 teams in Italy, but these teams aren't consistent in UEFA Champions League. This calls that UEFA Champions League is so hard and difficult to play. And then Group E. This group is gonna surprise you. We have Bayern Munich, Benfica, Dynamo, and Barcelona. Barcelona is sitting at the last spot with knots. When I'm saying knots, 0 goals, 0 points, and 6 goals conceded. Barcelona is so disappointing, sitting at the spots where they're sitting, and like I'm telling you, the big clubs in this competition, what I've analyzed, the clubs, they are not usually play against you, and they play against the champions. Benfica sitting at the second spot, I like where they are sitting, but as well they shouldn't be comfortable, because they already lost the game against Bayern Munich. They're Manchester United again. Manchester United sitting at the dead spot, just like I'm telling you. Manchester is sitting at the dead spots in the league, but here they're sitting in the dead spots in the Champions League. We expect them to be in the first or the second, but we have young boys sitting at the second spot, Asante sitting in the first spot. This calls again, UEFA Champions League is going to be surprising this time. I don't know what is going to be happening, but the second spot of which we want to see is Zenit. I don't know what is going to be happening. That's me reporting from UEFA Champions League. So right now, before I go out or before I close the show, I'd like to say to you, thank you for watching the show. Thank you for listening. If you're listening to Car Radio, by the way, just go to our YouTube channel, streaming live on Miss. You're gonna find us. Find myself and Nkosy SA on Sister Day. It's the Sport Buzz from every Tuesday and Thursday from 12 to 3. You're gonna find as well. Follow myself Nkosy SA, Nkosy SA Nxumalo on Facebook. It's Nkosy SA Nxumalo on Instagram. I'm gonna be chatting. I'm gonna be talking with you. You're gonna be asking me questions. You're gonna be reporting to me what is happening in your community. Like I'm telling you every time when I'm saying just report what is happening in your community in sports, I'm gonna come and report it here. I have sources. I have people who can come and assist you if there's something that you need. It's me, Nkosy SA on Car Radio. We are here for you. Right now, before I leave, I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna go with I'm going out with the queen of the palace, Ngiyayibonga.